Hello, welcome. I'm Rene Valentina, and this is Musing Interruptus. Musing Interruptus is a podcast for sharing thoughts and stories and enjoying idiomatic phrases. You can read along. The transcription is in the description of this episode. Click on Continue Reading to open a Google Doc with the complete transcription. The idiomatic expressions are in italics. Try to get the meaning from the context and then look them up to see if you are right. If you like it, follow and share it. But more importantly, continue the conversation. Listen for the questions at the end. Drop a comment with your answers. I love hearing from you. The background music. There is no background music. It's a video. It's over. The words that have broken my heart endless times. He's gone. She's moved on. It's over. I have the worst habits when it comes to letting go. I procrastinate, resist, and hold on until it's painfully evident there's nothing in my hands. Perhaps that was always the case. I didn't know you had to let go. I didn't know that was an option. Yoga helps liberate the tension in my hands, grasping from behind my rib cage, wishing to keep that for me. Yoga helps liberate the tension in my mind. When I remember, I can breathe out the illusion of retaining and then deal with the painful fantasy of what I thought I was fighting. Some relationships start out with a visible expiration date, and you know it. Your intuition screams it as you turn into the skid. The nagging uneasiness tells you not to get too comfortable. You do it anyway and tell yourself, I can handle this goodbye. It will be worth the salt in my tears and the void in my chest. It's not over, though. When people leave your life, you can revisit memories, see their faces, listen to their voices, the mms, and the way they would call your name. When you finish a book, it feels like it's over. However, the pages can be taken into your hands, words at your fingertips at a whim. Unless it's a Kindle. In that case, the thrill is gone. I accidentally hugged my Kindle the other day. Suffice to say, I did not get what I needed. If you're like me, you might create a playlist for the people and books in your life. A playlist to accompany whenever. In this case, I mentioned each song Bono mentioned throughout the book, except full albums, something I regret now. You can click on the link in the transcription of this episode in the Google Doc to listen to it. When I listen to the playlist, I try to listen for clues, kind of like the clues and messages I leave for my loved ones in the playlists I make them. Of course, some songs are just good. They need to be on the playlist because it makes sense, or they're just rad. Other songs are a reminder of a moment we shared, or a message in someone else's words and voice, accompanied by a kick-ass melody, harmony, and rhythm. Just yesterday, I told my mentor how difficult, awkward, and funny it is when I tell people how much I care for them in my own words, for my own sake. I am reminded of a voice message I left him at his office number expressing my gratitude and admiration. I fumbled too much, and it sounded more like a declaration of love by a teenager obsessed with a rock star or actor. It was a declaration of love and admiration. I learned so very much from him. I still have so much gratitude. I just wish I had made it sound more adult and serious and dry. Signed off with many regards. You can imagine what my declarations of romantic love look like. They are a total mess. I only regret not staying on script, I think. It's better when I write for other people who need to communicate feelings of love. When I finish a book that enamored me like this one, I feel the void. But just like when people leave, their voices are invited to be part of your inner universe. And when all is said and done, hopefully, you retain their laughter, wisdom, and kindness. I think that is a choice we make consciously. meet your heroes. Or do. Curl up to their words and the humanity they choose to share and accidentally expose. 20 years ago, I learned Bono loved the Ramones, specifically Joey Ramone. So I loved him too. Now I really love the Ramones. Was it because they influenced my favorite songs or one of my favorite voices and storytellers? I couldn't tell you. Now I can't remember a time when I didn't love them, just as I don't remember a time before U2 became a refuge from the storm and some of the voices that cheer me on when I need an extra push. When it comes to surrender, 40 songs, one story, I prolonged the experience as much as I could. I wonder how many experiences I've postponed for the sake of not reaching the end. Lacanian strategies applied to the book I had been waiting for since I was 13, and I heard one played by my cousin Alberto, Betito, on my sister's guitar, which I would later appropriate with oil paints, and my cousin Toño would one day lose at a gig. It was an appropriate end to that guitar. This book was everything I expected and more. A love letter to his great loves, a testament of his activism through song and action, a song peep show. The writer's story in his own words. Who better? And an invitation to connect with the person on stage. Oh, so far away, yet so close. I might be pained by the void left from reaching the last pages, but I'm comforted that this, at least, is not over. It is just another chapter in our story. Whoever is in that hour will know what I mean. Great show people know how to end on a high note. This book is no exception. Spoiler alert, the last song he mentions is Power to the People by Patti Smith. The last acknowledgement is for two special teachers. I needed that ending too. I may never get over reaching the last pages of this book. I think that happens with the best stories and the best people too. Nothing left but to walk on. Thank you for listening. What are your favorite books? What kind of rituals do you have with the people you love? Do you delay the end or rush to it? Have you hugged a Kindle? I'm listening.